welcome to episode 2 of Confident English Spotlight. As I mentioned in January, every month in 2018, I'm interviewing a woman who has been successful in her career and overcome challenges, particularly in using English. And today we are talking with Emilia. Emilia, you are from Brazil, and 2 years ago you moved to the United States. So tell us why you moved to the US and what you do.
Hi, Anna Marie. Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here with you. So answering your first question, I'd like to start from the beginning. So in Brazil, I got my bachelor degree in pharmacy, and then I realized during this time that I loved doing research. So I decided to follow the path to research. So I did my master's and PhD there in Brazil. And I was working with molecular biology of blood group antigens and in the immunology field. So because of my background in this area, I was selected to do my postdoctorate here. So I got a fellowship for doing my postdoc. And it's been almost 2 years that I'm here doing research. So basically what I do during my postdoc is write projects, do experiments in the laboratory, analyze data, write papers, give presentations. I also go to seminars, lab meetings, and congress. So sometimes we have to present some abstracts in congress, and and my research project here is within transfusion medicine, and the primary goal is to help people who need blood transfusion. So our goal is to improve transfusion safety for those patients.
Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot of work. That's amazing. That's a lot of work. And you're doing all of that now in English because you are in Baltimore, right? You're in Baltimore, Maryland?
Rockville, Maryland. Yeah, it's near Baltimore, and I work near here.
Great. So you started to answer one of the questions I wanted to ask you. You said that you realized you really love research. And one question I have for you is, what do you love most about your work? So can you talk a little bit more about what you really like?
Yes. I think what I really like in my work is to do something different every day and to learn every day something new. And why I say that, because research you need to repeat some experiments. You need to change your planning because sometimes doesn't work what you're doing. So every day is different. Every day you need to achieve another goal. You need to change your planning. So I like doing that. And I like the process of start a project, like do the research literature, decide, come up with some ideas, and go to the lab, set up an experiment, and analyze the data. So every day is different because of that. Because it's not something, for example, I don't analyze data every day. So I do all this thing that in the end I will have a result, I will have a conclusion, and to conclude and in the end, I will have a manuscript, a paper. So yeah.
Wow. It's very fulfilling. It's satisfying. You get to see a project from beginning to end, follow
Yes.
it.
And
What?
sometimes it takes time, like 2 years, 3 years,
Mhm.
to complete a project. So it's not something that you will accomplish in 1 week um, to 1 week, 2 years. Sometimes it takes time,
Yeah.
and it's like English. And you will not achieve your fluency 1 week, 2 weeks. So it's uh, you need work hard to
Mhm.
accomplish that.
I love that. That's a great analogy. So what do you think has helped you? You've accomplished a lot to be able to finish your bachelor's, your master's, your post, and go into your postdoc, and then also to get a fellowship in the United States. That's not an easy task. And certainly you've been successful in your research in the last 2 years. So what do you think has helped you to be successful in your profession?
Well, I think self-confidence is very important and hard work.
Mhm.
I wouldn't be here if I wouldn't have studied so much and completed all the tasks that I was supposed to complete.
Mhm.
So I think it's hard work. I really work hard to be here, and I trusted in my ability of doing research. I think it's why I am here and what I have accomplished, all those things.
Yeah. So it's hard work, but is it worth it? Are you glad you did it?
Yes, I'm glad. And actually, there is one thing that I used to ask myself: am I doing my best?
Mhm.
So in everything that I do, I try to ask myself this, because I think if I do my best every day in everything that I I am working on, I won't have regret.
Right. Absolutely. And I think from what I know of you, all of that has been very true about your English as well. You've worked hard and I think you've always asked that question. You've done everything you could do and you've always asked, am I doing my best? Because I know how hard you've worked. So, well, I want to transition a little bit and ask you a little bit about life in the United States. I think many people who will listen to this interview will be curious as well. So, now that you've lived there for 2 years, if there's one thing you really wish you had known at the beginning, what would it be?
Well, that's it's an interesting question because when I came here, I had help with from a friend who
Mhm.
was living here. So she basically explained me everything that I should know.
Mhm.
So when I came, I had already an apartment rented. I have everything set up to start working. So I can't remember anything that I should have known before, but there is something that I should have done before.
Mhm.
I think I should have studied more English,
Okay.
because when I arrived here, I was really shy of start conversation.
Mhm.
I was not confident at all in with my English. So if I had worked harder in the past, I think it would be better for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you still feel that way? Do you still feel like you have a hard time starting a conversation, that you feel shy, or do you feel that you've started to overcome that?
I think I started overcome that with your help.
Good.
With fluency school, I did fluency school with Anna Marie
Mhm.
in the past, and I think was what really helped me to overcome my fear and to be more confident.
Awesome. Well, that's great. I'm glad to hear that. And I'm sorry, I'm getting a lot of texts right now, and I don't know how to turn off the sound on my computer. But in the last 2 years in your life in the United States, what do you think is the coolest thing that you've seen or done?
I think the coolest thing was to go to Universal Studios in Orlando.
Uh-huh.
It was really fun. We had a lot of fun there, and um, I love it. Everything that what we did except the roller coaster,
Uh-huh.
because I'm not a person who likes this kind of adventure.
Mhm.
I was really dizzy when I I finished the ride when the ride was done.
Mhm.
So I liked the Harry Potter world, and it's amazing how they built that park. It's really beautiful, and I loved that experience.
Yeah. Have you read the Harry Potter books?
No, I haven't, but I just watched the movies.
Okay. Okay. So you and I are doing this interview, and I'll be sharing it on Valentine's Day in the United States. So since we're talking a little bit about English, tell me what your favorite word related to love is in English.
Wow. So I'm wearing red just because it will be on Valentine's
You were
Day.
more thoughtful than I was. I didn't think about wearing red.
And well, I like the expression "love will find a way."
Mm-hmm.
I think love can overcome obstacles,
Mm-hmm.
and it's exactly what happened with me
Mm-hmm.
because my boyfriend and I we were living in different cities,
Mm-hmm.
and we find a way of being together.
Mm-hmm.
So you have just follow your heart and do when the feeling is it's reciprocal and
Mm-hmm.
you love each other, you can overcome obstacles to be together, to be
Yeah.
together.
That's a great expression for Valentine's Day, I think. It's not so, in English, we have the expression lovey-dovey, which is like cute and wonderful, but it's serious and meaningful. It's very thoughtful. So I like that. We've talked a little bit about your English process, that you wish you had studied more before you arrived in the United States, and you've started to reach a place where you feel much more comfortable. But tell us a little bit more about your journey in English. How have you become more successful? How much are you using English now in your daily life?
Well, I had some classes when I was at school,
Mm-hmm.
and but it was mm, only basic grammar and vocabulary. I really started to study English when I went to college and during my master's and PhD because I needed English to write, especially to write, to read,
Mm-hmm.
and to write papers.
Mm-hmm.
So and also during my PhD, I was selected to present my work in a conference, in an international conference here in the United States. So was when I realized that I really needed to be more fluent and to really work hard on that. So I accepted the challenge. I went to the conference. I presented my work. It was an amazing opportunity. So I think this also helped me to be more successful. Like accept challenges. I
Mm-hmm.
accepted the challenge, and you grow when you do this kind of activities.
That's true.
So, and after that, I came to the US, and I have been working on my English since I arrived here. So I did fluency school, as I said before, advanced conversation, but which really helped me to be more confident, to become more fluent. I know that I have many limitations. I'm aware of my limitations, and I still need to work on my vocabulary, my grammar, and that's why I will do advanced conversation again with Anna-Marie.
Yay. Great.
So I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, well, I think
because I said a lot of things and maybe I lost it.
no, but I think about what you said earlier. You were talking about your work and your research and the process of research, and that it doesn't happen in 1 week or 2 weeks. And then you said it's just like English. And I think this is a great way to illustrate, to describe that it is a process. It takes time. And every time you take a step forward, there's another challenge. But you've reached a place where you can do your job in English and you can start a conversation.
Yes.
You can do a live interview with me for 20 or 30 minutes and it's not a big deal. It's no problem, which I think is amazing. That's not easy to do, but it's totally possible if you work hard and you
Yes.
do what you need to accomplish it. So I think that's
you're correct. And I need to English to work. I need to talk to my colleagues. I need to do presentations and discuss data. So all activities that you do in English is helping you to improve, to grow.
Absolutely. So if you had one piece of advice for someone else who was feeling really discouraged, maybe they want to give up, maybe they think it's not possible for them to be more confident in English, what would you say?
I would say invest in your English. I would say don't give up. It's possible. It's a process, and you need to start. And there are a lot of resources in the internet, online courses, and Fluency School is really amazing. You should try it. And surround yourself with English.
Yeah.
So this is really important for people who want to like be abroad or travel or just learn English.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great advice. So we know that you love big challenges and we know that you work really hard. So what's next for you? What's your next big challenge or goal in your career or in your life? What's next?
Well, I think it's my goal now is to learn as much as I can every day during this amazing opportunity that it is being here in the United States and where I am working on. So publish as much as I can because I know that it is really important for me as a scientist to have good papers in good journals. So now my goal it is to grow in my career and I think English is very important for me accomplish that because if I want to get a job here, for example, I need to be fluent. I need to know how to approach people, how to discuss my results, how to ask for help. So yeah, I need work on my career along with my English.
Okay. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to say or anything that maybe after you've had some time to think you remembered anything before we finish today?
I'd like to thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah,
You you are an amazing person that
thank you.
I love to work on. I love work with you and do these interviews and also during the classes, the discussions. Thank you for being so uh, for helping us to
Thank
become more fluent, more confident. You do an amazing job.
thank you very much.
You're really special.
Thank
I'm
you.
grateful for get to know you.
Thank you very much. That is a really big compliment because I love working with you. It's been so much fun. So thank you. I really appreciate that.